Hi guys, I'm Scott Speed, driver of this amazing Volkswagen Beetle GRC car. I got good news for the iRacing fam. We got this coming in. I'm currently working on it myself personally to make sure that it is as accurate as possible. With the addition of dirt and now this mean car, it is going to be so fun. And it's going to be available free to all the iRacing members. Personally, I can't wait to get out there and race you guys on it.
Introducing a whole new form of racing to the best online racing simulation in the world. This is Dirt Racing on iRacing.com. Race online at some of America's most legendary dirt tracks, including Eldora and Williams Grove. iRacing is the premier online racing game featuring NASCAR, IndyCar, sports cars, and now World of Outlaws, the leading sanctioning body for dirt racing. iRacing is easy to use and features a centralized ranking system to make sure you have the best experience at any skill level. With a massive inventory of high-precision laser scan tracks and cars with an unmatched dedication to quality and detail, iRacing gives you the most authentic online racing experience available. Thanks to iRacing's dynamic track system, developed specifically for dirt racing, tracks change over the course of a race, just like your favorite dirt track on a Friday or Saturday night. From a slick racing groove all the way up to the cushion, iRacing's dirt tracks deliver non-stop racing action. Partnered with the World of Outlaws, iRacing is your source for the most authentic dirt racing experience available, featuring 4 brand new tracks and 11 new cars, including street stocks, Legends cars, late models, NASCAR trucks, winged and non-winged sprint cars, with much more on the way. Join the Dirt Revolution on iRacing.com and start slinging mud today.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network this Thursday night. Getting ready to go racing here at the Las Vegas Bullring, as it's going to be another edition of the Road to the Fall Brawl. Tonight's a non-winners race, so we're going to see some guys really battling it out. Looking like we're having just shy of 20 cars tonight, so expect to see some great racing. But right now, we're going to go to the playing of the National Anthem. When we come back, we've got a lot to talk about. Stay tuned, folks. We will be right back. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network this Thursday night. I'm Dustin Caldwell, and tonight we have got a nice little super late model race for you here back on asphalt, as our last few broadcasts have been on the dirt. But we are out at the Las Vegas Bullring here this Thursday night for the HeightsPride.com Road to the Fall Brawl. And again, tonight's a non-winners race. And joining me now to talk just a little bit about this and let you guys know what the Road to the Fall Brawl and what the actual Fall Brawl is. Joining me now is Matt Rolfe, administrator with the Sim Auto Racing Association. Matt, how you doing tonight?
Doing good so far. How about you?
Oh, looking forward to some great racing here at this Bullring track. Always puts up some great racing. A lovely addition not too long ago out here on iRacing, and I'm glad they added this track. It's very, very exciting racing takes place here, not only in the simulation world, but real world as well. But for those people who are out there watching and want to know what the HeightsPride.com Road to the Fall Brawl is and what the actual Fall Brawl event is itself, could you let them know and just what they can expect coming up here this fall?
Yeah, so the past couple of years now, we started the Fall Brawl event. It's our Fall Brawl Spectacular. We started that in the fall of 2015, and it quickly became one of the biggest short track events on iRacing. We had 50 or 60 entries for it. Everyone paid entry fees, so there was a lot of money on the line. Had a bunch of sponsors come on board to it, and it was a great event all around. I think our first event we had 5 divisions. We had one division each night throughout the week. It was a big event for all 5 divisions, and it went so well that we brought it back again last year. So we had another big fall brawl last year, just as big. A lot of money on the line, a lot of top drivers, a lot of cars entered, stuff like that. And so because we have so many good drivers that enter in that event and make the field, we wanted to give some of these non-winners a chance to see if they can lock themselves into the field. So that's what we have here. We had our first race during the middle of last season. This is our second race of this High's Pride Road to the Fall Brawl Series. So what this is all the cars you see here tonight, they have yet to win a super late model race with us. So they're coming out here, they're putting on a show. Anyone that's won a race with us before was not eligible to be on track here tonight, so they got to sit out and watch this good race about to take place. And the winner of these Road to the Fall Brawl events will lock themselves into our Fall Brawl. So that's kind of cool for them. They get a chance to shine on their own here tonight without some of the top of the top iRacing guys kind of spoiling the show for them. So I am not downplaying these guys by any means. There's still a lot of good drivers in here tonight that put on a pretty good show. But this will be their time to shine and get themselves locked into the field later this fall. So that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, and definitely one point to mention, folks, too, and Matt mentioned it, not downplaying. The non-winners race is not like a sympathy race where, we're sorry. The competition level in the Sim Auto Racing Association, their different series, is so heightened. You have real racers out there that race in major series that come in and race it here. And a lot of these guys who are non-winners, it's not that they start in the back of the field and finish in the back of the field. You're talking guys that are top 5 drivers that just never, there's always something going on, a little bit here and there, a little bit here and there. These are spectacular drivers in their own right. These aren't guys that, I'm trying to, help me out here, Matt. I'm trying to give it, boost up the level of talent that's in the SARA racing leagues, because these guys out here tonight are spectacular drivers in their own right.
Yeah, you're on the right track with that, definitely. There's a bunch of guys in here that have run top 5, top 10 a lot, just haven't found their way to victory lane. So it's a tough league to win in. We've run for, I think we're up over 10 or 11 seasons now in this car. And there's only been 25, 26 winners total that have won with us. So that's a lot of cars that haven't won, and that's just because the guys that are running up front all the time are that good that these guys just haven't broken through yet. So I'm looking at the speed charts here. Top 5 right now: Colin Allman, Hunter Combs, Matthew Eddy, Dallas Pataska, and Ben Nile. Those are all guys that have run well with us before. They just haven't broken through yet. So this is pretty cool to see them maybe have a shot here tonight.
Well, looking forward to it. A lot of great racing taking place here. These guys are going to be on the track battling it out for their chance to be in the Fall Brawl Spectacular coming up later this season. But Matt, for those of you, we're obviously in the Button Box Shop Super Series off of that season. Looking forward to the next season. Do you got a schedule? I know you kind of gave me something a little bit today to work with, but for those of you out there watching, anticipating the next season coming up for Super Late Models, can you give us a hint when we can expect that to start back up?
Yeah, we usually take a couple weeks off between each season. So we had our one-off week, and then we came right at you last week with our big dirt event, and didn't really have a whole lot of time off. So we've scheduled a new season to start basically 2 weeks from tonight. So it'll be on September 21st for the Super Late Models. We are going to have a couple new sponsors on board there, including the title sponsor. So the series name will be a little bit different, but the racing will be the same. It'll be just as good as before, if not better. So we're looking forward to it.
And got to give a shout out to Charlie Kuzma. I believe he had, was it twin boys is what he had?
I think so.
Now, congratulations there. Got double trouble up front. But thanks again, Matt, for stopping by to talk a little bit about the Fall Brawl and the upcoming Super Late Model SARA season. We're definitely looking forward to that.
All right, thanks.
All right, folks, there you have a little bit of interview there with Matt Rolfe, administrator with the Sim Auto Racing Association, coming on to talk about the upcoming event, the Fall Brawl Spectacular, which tonight will get the non-winners race an entry into that event, and as well as the Super Late Model season coming up next on September 21st. All that information for more, if you want to know more, you can find them on the web at racesara.com. And SARA, obviously, Sim Auto Racing Association is the acronym there. So we're looking about ready to go racing. We're going to get down should be calling them in any moment now. And we'll be ready to go racing here for the HydesPride.com Road to the Fall Brawl non-winners race. So here is what it looks like tonight at the Las Vegas Bullring. Starting in the pole position, it is going to be the number 11 of Scott Austin. He'll have the 88 of Matthew Eddy to the outside. Jonathan Malwani inside of row number 2. Connor Blaze to the outside. Inside of that third row, rounding out the top 5, is the number 3 of Clay Snyder. He's going to have the 54 of Dallas Pataska to the outside. Row 4 is going to see Drew Kryback, Hunter Combs. Back in row number 5, rounding out the top 10, Colin Allman and Kyle Souza. As we continue to look on back through the starting lineup, Ian Lane, Michael Baxter, Scott Dunlap, Mitch Rollo, Bruce Wright, Ben Nile, and Matt Rolfe, of course, being the administrator, shows up on the grid. But it looks like we are about ready to go racing. We'll get you down trackside here so you get a look at these cars in the front stretch. And they begin to roll off the grid. Take it up to the high cam to show you it again. This is the HydesPride.com Road to the Fall Brawl. Here we go. Lights are off the Mustang iRacing pace car. We're going to be set to go green the next time by. On behalf of iRacing.com, the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network, Sim Auto Racing Association, I am Dustin Caldwell, and we're ready for some super late model race action as the pace car dives for pit road. That number 11 machine to bring us to the green. Here we go. Scott Austin off of turn 4. Green flag flies. We're underway. And a nice little battle brewing up front, but Austin will clear Maloney. Take over in that race lead and holding on to it as they head into the second lap. Clay Snyder back in third. Nice little side-by-side battle between Kryback and Eddy. Underneath comes the number 10 of Colin Allman, now into the top 5. Looking to get back through there. We're going to come up to the high cam to show you a little bit of race action. As you can see, the low groove is the faster groove right now early on in the race. Scott Austin, your race leader, taking us into lap number 4. Single file action out of these drivers. Maloney looking to get underneath Austin. And he's going down. Austin goes up high. Around goes the 23 of Jonathan Maloney to take over the race lead here on lap number 5. Contact between Allman and Austin into turn number 3 and 4. A little bit of physical moving. That is short track racing at its finest, folks. Kryback now looking to the inside. Austin falling back quick on that high groove. Clay Snyder back behind him. And the 63 now of Hunter Combs making it into the top 5. Already up 4 positions from where he started in the grid. Into lap number 8. Jonathan Maloney, though, running away with it, has got almost a 6/10 of a second lead heading into the third turn as he rolls through the front stretch into lap number 9. He's just under a half a second as it looks like the number 10 of Colin Allman now is rolling on him. Guy who started 9th, up 7 positions. Boy, he is on the move in the first 10 laps of this race. Here comes the number 10 of Allman. through the backstretch, looking to challenge Maloney for that race lead. Oh, a little bit of snap off that fourth turn. He was trying to get underneath him. It's not going to work as he's going to stay about a car length behind, a.k.a. a quarter second behind the number 23. Let's jump back to fourth position as Clay Snyder now looking underneath Drew Kryback. Here comes the 54 of Dallas Pataska trying to sneak into the top 5. Kryback on the outside groove's going to lose a few positions here. Ian Lane back there in 7th. Back up front just as Ullman now passes Mahoney into lap number 13 for our next lead change of the night. Mahoney was able to lead 7 laps before getting passed by Ullman. Here he comes off of turn number 4 into the front stretch. Nice little lead. It's a little bit of quarter shift here between the two drivers. And now Colin Ullman, driver who started 9th on the grid tonight, in the first 15 laps of this race, has shot straight up to the front and now leads by a half a second. Back up to the high cam as we give you a little bit of front to middle action, as it looks like Ian Lane and Kyle Souza going at it. Number 14 of Souza inside to take over 7th, heading through 1 and 2. Here comes Matthew Eddy in underneath Ian Lane. Number 88 of Matthew Eddy passing by the 98 of Lane. Kyle Souza just ahead. Started 10th here tonight, up into 7th, 3-position gain for the number 14. Trying to work down and chase down the number 12 of Drew Kryback as they roll through the front stretch. Peeling it back up to the race lead. A little bit of issues with Ullman. Number 57 of Connor Blaze down on pit road having some issues. Driver who started 4th on the grid now going to his pit box might have some mechanical problems on the car. Into lap number 20 now. Ullman checking out with a 1.8 second lead. Mahoney now being tracked down by the 63 of Hunter Combs. Driver, good story about the 63 car of Hunter Combs, folks. Last year in the Fall Brawl, in the late model portion of it, he was almost you can call him a ringer in the B main. He needed to get into the Fall Brawl, last chance qualifier and everything. This guy got all the way in and actually did quite well in that race. And now looking to get by Justin Maloney. Dallas Pataska back there behind Clay Snyder. Started 6th, up 5th. And Miller Cars running the prior throwback paint scheme from the Throwback 200, the championship night. We had just a few weeks back to end the summer portion of the Button Box Shop Super Series. And now, what a battle for second as Combs goes underneath Mahoney. Here comes Snyder. Snyder's underneath him now here in turn 4. Rolling through the front stretch. Clay Snyder looking to get by Mahoney, and he's going to do it through turn 2. Mahoney's going to look underneath, gets a little bit loose. Possibly a little bit of overdrive there on that car as it wiggled coming out of that second turn. Hunter Combs now in second, but a dire 3.3 seconds behind your race leader. It's this guy right here, the number 10 of Colin Ullman, who has led the last 15 laps of this race. Ian Lane in 8th position. Right behind him, though, is the number 72 of Ben Nile. How about this guy? Started 16th here tonight. He's up into 9th. Rolling through turns 3 and 4 here on lap 29. Now works his way into lap 30. Or how about into lap 29? Now we're into lap 30 as Colin Ullman. That dominant 3.5 second lead 30 laps into this race. Clay Snyder following with the 63 of Hunter Combs. We didn't get it at the beginning of the race, but folks, here is what the race information looks like tonight at the Bullring. Less than 4/10 of a mile track, 86 degrees, 29% humidity, clear skies, 86 degrees down on the track. Current running top 5, Colin Allman, Hunter Combs, Clay Snyder, Jonathan Mawhinney, and Dallas Pataska. Your race summary so far: out of the 32 laps complete, 2 lead changes, no cautions. As we see Ian Lane roll through the front stretch, the battle just ahead. Matthew Eddy trying to do battle for 6th with Kyle Souza. Looking to the outside groove. Maybe one of the few drivers that actually makes it work. He's staying pretty competitive. And now we'll look underneath the 14, finding the opportunity as it knocks in 3 and 4. Matthew Eddy not going to get there in the front stretch. Falls back off the pace just a little bit. Now Souza making his way up to the 54 of Pataska. As they head into turn number 3 here on lap 37, a little bit of checkup action as Mawhinney got loose, causing the 54 of Pataska to check up just right in front of the 14 of Souza. Nice little 4-car battle here, and now Souza's going to take a shot on Pataska. Inside of turns 3 and 4, here they come through the front stretch. Dallas Pataska proving to be too much on the outside for the 14 of Kyle Souza. And now we see a little bit of bump and run action. And Kyle Souza says, go ahead and bump Mawhinney. I'm going to go underneath you right when you do it. Caught him asleep. And the 14 is now hunting down a top 5 position here. Mawhinney right in front slows him up, but he's going to get around the 54 of Dallas Pataska. What a move by Kyle Souza. And he's going to need to do a little bit of bump and run on the 23 of Mawhinney if he wants to get by. Matthew Eddy now underneath Dallas Pataska in turn 3. And a beautiful, beautiful battle place. Everybody seeking out opportunities. This is what short track racing's all about. You got to muscle in there. And Mawhinney not making it easy for Souza. Souza right at the quarter panel. Backed off just a little bit. Matthew Eddy now underneath Dallas Pataska, right behind Souza, out of turn number 2. Here they come. And Souza, frustrated with the 23 of Mawhinney, wants to get by. Not able to do it. Here might come opportunity yet again. Sliding underneath Mawhinney into 3, and now he's going to roll right by. But that will cost him, slows up Mawhinney, nearly giving him a little bumper-to-bumper action through the front stretch. Matthew Eddy is going to need to move the 23 of Mawhinney here through the back stretch. Let's see what happens. Underneath the 23, and Matthew Eddy's going to get by to roll into a top 5 slot into 5th position now. And again, Matthew Eddy had a little bit of hiccup early on in the race, started 2nd on the grid, now back into the top 5. Hunter Combs out by his lonesome. Or should I say he's got a trailer behind him. Clay Snyder keeping the pressure on the 63. Colin Allman, though, rolling into lap number 48. 36 laps led for the number 10. And we're going to take you up to the high cam again to show you the lead. How about this? This is the variance between your leader and the 63 of Hunter Combs. Hunter Combs just now rolling into turn 1. And Colin Allman, that car is on a rail tonight. looking to put Scott Austin one lap down here. Austin, the pole sitter for this HeidsPride.com Road to the Fall Brawl race. And there goes Allman by the pole sitter here, putting Austin one lap down. And Matthew Eddy now up into fourth, got by Kyle Souza. Looking to be about 4 seconds behind third position, the number 3 of Clay Snyder, who continues to work, and opportunity seeking out here in turn 3 is going to pinch Hunter Combs on Scott Dunlap. Lap traffic here. What a move. That is a veteran driver move right there by the number 3 of Clay Snyder to pinch the 63 of Hunter Combs on the car lap traffic running high, forcing Combs up the track, and was able to get by underneath. As we look back to the 54 of Dallas Pataska, Ian Lane now looking to put pressure on the 54. Getting to the halfway point of tonight's race. We are going to step away for a short commercial break. When we come back, folks, we've got plenty of racing coming your way.
Racing, you wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, this Thursday night as we are still under the green here out at Las Vegas at the Bullring. About to be 64 laps complete as your race leader, Colin Allman. Dominant performance, nearly 8 seconds, has nearly lapped the entire field except fourth position Matthew Eddy. And there's the gap between Allman and Matthew Eddy. 54 laps led for the number 10. As we take you down closer to the action. Clay Snyder, while we were at commercial break, got around into second position. Mullaney has dropped out of the race. And still we see the 57 of Connor Blaze sitting down on pit road. Told that a possible major malfunction in the engine has caused him to park it for the night. And Scott Dunlap lap traffic here as Matthew Eddy's going to look underneath. Through the backstretch. Found out an interesting fact about this young man. His father, a successful driver in the old ASA series. A young man with a lot of talent behind this machine. Clay Snyder, your second position driver, running the Brian Clausen paint scheme here tonight, and as he does always week in and week out. Now here on lap 71, about almost 9 seconds behind your race leader. And you gotta wonder if the car like this dominant is actually going to pass through tech inspection. What it is that he found that nobody else has found is this driver seriously dominating the Las Vegas Bullring this Thursday night. 61 laps now led for the number 10 of Colin Allman. Here's a look at your top 5. It's Allman, Snyder, Eddy, Souza, and Pataska. And the 27 machine that's gone by the high side, that is Michael Baxter, allowing the race leader to get by. Race summary as it stands, 73 laps and soon to be 74 complete, 2 lead changes. And that was from Austin to Malwani. Malwani gave up the race lead to this guy right now, your current race leader, Colin Allman. Less than 50 laps to go as he crosses the start-finish line into lap 76. And Matthew Eddy, third position driver. Last one will be Clay Snyder to be possibly lapped by the entire field by that guy right behind Matthew Eddy. And Hunter Combs, a guy who was up in second prior, had bowed out of the race as well. We've got about 11 cars remaining in this race. Connor Blaze now, car has moved off of pit road back into the trailer. As we continue to follow the battle here. Not really a battle, but a battle to stay on the lead lap as Matthew Eddy goes a little wide and lets the race leader by on the inside out of turn number 2. Allman now will have just one more car to lap and officially lapping the entire field here. And there is the last car on the lead lap. Second place, or second position, should say, Clay Snyder. Let's take a look at the high cam here. And Snyder out of turn 2 as Allman heads into turn 1. And a big pack battle just ahead. Dallas Pataska back in 6th, trying to get in the top 5. Right behind Ian Lane, he's trying to make it work. Ben Nile back, and this is a good battle right here. Scott Dunlap. Lap traffic here. Ian Lane's going to go by the inside. Kyle Souza in 4th. Ian Lane in 5th. And a 3-car battle for that 5th position slot as Ben Niles now looking to the inside of Dallas Pataska. And Ian Lane with a little bit of push out of turn number 2. Pataska follows right behind him. Is he going to seek underneath? Here comes Ben Nile. He's going to look for a late dive underneath the 54 of Pataska. Had to slow up doing it. Kyle Souza just ahead of Ian Lane, and Lane in the 98 Lowe's machine trying to track him down. The Miller car right behind him, Dallas Pataska. And this is just getting interesting here through the backstretch as Ian Lane right on the bumper looks underneath Kyle Souza. Souza comes down for the block. If you want to get by, you're going to have to muscle your way by. I'm not just going to give you the position. Souza currently running in 4th. Ian Lane back in 5th. Pataska back behind Lane. Nile behind Pataska. Continuing to fight through the track here. Ben Nile trying the outside as the low groove has not paid any dividends to get around the 54 card just ahead. Your pole sitter right there in 8th position, Scott Austin. And Clay Snyder. That is the last car on the lead lap right there, folks. Good night here for the number 3 machine, starting 5th. And now Ben Nile, just ahead, is going to seek underneath the 54 of Pataska. And will pick up 6th position coming out of turn number 2. Austin's going to follow with him, keeping the bottom groove door shut, and there's a little bit of contact. Nile got loose, but what a good recovery. Excuse me. As Scott Austin gave the old heave-ho to the back bumper of the 72. Ben Nile, and now will swing wide, allowing Clay Snyder to get by. We see Ian Lane trying to reel in the 14 of Souza in the hopes to get up into that 4th position slot here. Just under 30 laps remaining in tonight's race. And again, tonight's race, the HeightsPride.com Road to the Fall Brawl. This is a non-winners race. Anybody who has not won in the Super Late models this season will have a chance to be part of the Fall Brawl Spectacular if they claim victory tonight. And right now, it looks like that guy right there, the number 10 of Colin Allman, with a almost 12-second lead on the rest of the field, has lapped all cars on this field except one, and that is the 3 of Clay Snyder, currently running in 2nd. And it'll be 25 laps remaining when he crosses that start-finish line. Ian Lane trying to get within a car length here of the 14 of Souza. Pataska back behind trying to hold off Snyder as Snyder's looking to get by. Snyder, of course, on the lead lap. Pataska 1 lap down here. And Snyder will go underneath coming out of turn number 2. Position battle is Ben Nile right behind the 54. Still trying to get by him. And again, we'll take you up to the high cam here and show you the field. Snyder right there coming off turn 4. Colin Allman. Snyder in turns 1 and 2, and right there's the race leader. You gotta wonder here within the last remaining soon to be 20 laps, will he pass Snyder? Matthew Eddy, though, 3rd position driver now. Sizable lead, and looks like Souza is going to hold off Ian Lane as Snyder trying to hold on to that lead lap. Less than 20 laps now remain in tonight's race. Clay Snyder is going to seek the outside of Kyle Souza in 3. He'll go sailing on by, and Ian Lane says, I might try that too. And it may cost him. Here comes Dallas Pataska. Souza, though, oh, look at this. Ian Lane rallying the car back. May have found an outside groove that works. You got to wonder how long he can hold on. There goes Souza. Here comes Pataska. And Ben Nile trying to hold off the 11 of Scott Austin as they roll through into turn number 3. Ian Lane looking underneath the 14 through the front stretch. He's got to dive down first, but Souza's going to get there. And Pataska now on the outside groove, in jeopardy of losing position if Ben Nile's able to get underneath him. And Nile is going to give Pataska a little hello shot from behind. Little front to back action there as he bumped the 54 heading into turn 3. And there is Allman, your race leader, right behind Ben Nile. Closing in to that 10 to go mark. These cars fighting to stay at least one lap down here. Allman's going to look underneath. Ben Nile into 1. Nile's going to swing wide. Got to wonder what's going to happen with these 3 cars as Ian Lane now is trying to stay competitive here with Kyle Souza. Here comes Pataska. Wow, gained a lot of real estate on the 98 of Lane. Next time by, it'll be 10 laps to go. Allman seeking the outside of Pataska. And 10 laps to go here at the Bullring. For the HydesPride.com Road to the Fall Brawl non-winners race. Would be a non-points race also. And Clay Snyder has 9 laps to go to hold on to the lead lap. It would be the only other car other than the race leader, Colin Allman. Matthew Eddy back in 3rd is actually 1 lap down. To get back into the fray, Dallas Pataska is seeking the inside of Ian Lane. 7 laps remain. Ian Lane looking to the outside of Kyle Souza. A little drag race through the back stretch. And Lane trying to be competitive, but is going to fall off out of 4. Carries some momentum to stay ahead of the 54 of Dallas Pataska. Ben Nile back there behind. I'm not sure he's got enough to be able to pass him. And a little bit of push from the 98. That's going to open up the opportunity door for the 54 as he looks to the inside. But yet Ian Lane making it work on the outside groove. But here comes Dallas underneath. 3 laps to go for Colin Allman. And a nice side-by-side battle here with Pataska and Lane. And the 54 now moves into the top 5. Ben Nile looking underneath Ian Lane. 2 laps to go. And Ben Nile underneath. Here we go. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go. Colin Allman with a dominant performance out in Las Vegas. Off the 4 turn, will take the checkered flag here for the HydesPride.com Road to the Fall Brawl non-winners race. And you would think Las Vegas, with all the spectacular gambling, would have some fireworks show for you, and they don't have it here tonight. Kind of disappointing. Right there is your race winner. Lapped the entire field except second place, Clay Snyder. Let's take a look at your race results on the screen here. We'll look to get some driver interviews here in just a moment. Colin Allman coming away with the victory. Clay Snyder in second. Matthew Eddy finishes third. Kyle Souza fourth. Dallas Pataska in a hard-fought battle to get in that top five. And Scott Austin actually squeaking by the 72 of Ben Nile to pick up sixth. Nile will finish seventh. Lane falls back. He was in the top five, falls back 3 positions to finish eighth. Scott Dunlap ninth. Michael Baxter will round out the top 10. And we'll see if we could get an interview here with second position Clay Snyder, guy who fought every inch to stay on the lead lap. And Clay, how you doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. I got to see you run that Brian Clausen schemed car as you always run it here tonight, and had some great moves out there on the track. Unfortunately, Colin Allman, we were still debating whether this car is going to pass tech inspection as much as it was on a rail tonight, but definitely looked really solid there. You hold on. You're the only car out there other than him to finish on the lead lap tonight. Tell us a little bit about your race.
Yeah, I think if it hadn't been for that string of lap cars, or 5 in a row there, I think he might have even got me. He was unreal. But, no, car felt good tonight. Can't thank T4X enough for all the setups, the help they do with Matt and Derek and Scott, and Russell and Daryl. But no, car ran great. I just didn't have anything for him at all.
But now you expressed earlier tonight your favorite racing is dirt racing, and how do you like racing these super lates though on asphalt?
It's a whole different mentality, and I don't put a whole lot of time into it, so I'm usually starting in the back. But no, I still enjoy it. It's fun just trying to inch your way forward, and see what you can get. But it's definitely a different deal.
Well, do you have any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give for your runner-up finish out here at the Bullring?
Yeah, like I said earlier, T4X, and then I want to thank Matt for everything he does with the league, and want to thank you, too, for these great broadcasts you put on.
All right, Clay, congratulations on a second-place finish tonight. We're looking forward to seeing some action out of you coming up this fall.
All right, thanks. See you.
All right, folks, we're going to go live now with third-place finisher Matthew Eddy here tonight. Guy who started second. Finishes third, and after a hard-fought battle to climb back into the top five. Matt, you're able to do it. Finishing third here, unfortunately 1 lap down, as Colin Allman, just again, as we said, was on a rail here tonight. But tell us a little bit about the race, a little bit at the beginning, the mishap that you had there, and how you had to battle back to finish in this third-place finish tonight.
Well, it's a hard place on tires, and I knew that, and it's really hard to go on the outside too, so I was kind of was patient and dropped back, and it's a place where if you wait a little while, it's easier to pick guys off as it goes on. That was kind of the plan. I didn't really expect someone to stay as quick the whole race like Colin did. He was hooked up. Once he got by me, I kind of just took it easy in case there was a caution. Maybe I'd have something for Clay. I didn't really think I had anything for Colin.
But you are able to hold on and finish third here tonight. Guys like Kyle Souza, Dallas Pataska, not quite able to get to you to put up a little bit of a fight. So a good, solid car overall. Is there any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give?
I'd like to thank Matt for putting on the series like always. He does a great job, and you do a great job with the broadcast. It's always fun.
A pleasure watching you race here tonight, Matt. Looking forward to some great action out of the 88 machine coming up this fall.
Yep, look forward to some more racing here in a few weeks.
There you have it, folks. The number 88, Matthew Eddy. A little bit of interview, finishing third here tonight. Not sure if Colin Allman is going to be around, so we're going to bring back Matt in to talk about tonight's race. And Matt, are they going to dyno those shocks and check to see if anything was illegal there on that number 10 machine?
I don't know, but they should, because he kind of stunk up the show, but in a good way. He was pretty dominating here tonight. Probably at least a half a tenth to a tenth faster throughout the second half of the race and everyone else in the field, which is why he gained on so many people and lapped so many cars. That was pretty dominating, kind of impressive.
Definitely interesting to see a guy like that just come out of nowhere. was expecting a closer race, and we had a great battle between 4th and 8th position here tonight. Guys like Kyle Souza, Dallas Pataska, Ben Niles, Scott Austin, Ian Lane as well. Those cars really put on a great show, battling for those positions and the fight to be in the top 5. And Matthew Eddy, once he got out there, he was kind of ahead of all that fray, and was trying to track down Clay Snyder. Was kind of hoping for a caution there. Not able to get it, though. I mean, this is, you talk about a non-winner's race. You think of guys, you hear this, and like we talked about, again, the talent level that is in these guys who haven't won is still there, just as good as the guys who have seen victory lane in multiple seasons. But, and it goes to show you here tonight. I mean, you had 17 cars and not one caution, and one might think a non-winner's race, you're going to have, 4 or 5 cautions because some of these drivers aren't as good. But, again, tonight, proving to show the talent level that takes place, and even from guys who have not seen victory lane.
Yeah, that first Road to the Fall Brawl race we had at South Boston was a little rough there for a while. They finally got it figured out, and then here tonight, as you said, it was obviously pretty clean. Went caution-free the whole race. That's pretty good. But yeah, other than Colin kind of dominating that one, everyone else really wasn't all that far off from each other. A little bit of time here and there, maybe a couple cautions that would have definitely mixed things up, and it could have been a completely different order of the top 10 if that had happened. But the cars got so strung out, and it was hard to make up a lot of ground once you kind of fell off a little bit, or if you had to battle for 10, 20 laps, and you just lost so much ground to the guys that were in front of you pulling away. So it was tough. This is a tough track. Colin handled it the best. Everyone else was starting to get it figured out there. Without any cautions, it's hard to gain ground, like I said. So, but it was a tough race. Good race overall. Definitely
a solid show here out of the field, and got the Super Late Model Series starting back up, the Points Series starting back up on the 21st in the Fall Brawl Spectacular. Can you let everybody know again what this event is and when they're going to be able to see it?
Yeah, so our Fall Brawl Spectacular will be, now I got to look it up. I believe it's November 13th through the 16th. It'll be our major asphalt event that we've run the last 2 seasons. So it'll be the 3rd annual Fall Brawl. It's been the biggest short track event on iRacing the last 2 years, and we plan on doing the same thing this year. And it'll be a pretty good show. We'll definitely have the Super Late models as our main division. We'll probably add in a couple of support divisions throughout the week as well. But you'll see some of these same guys here tonight and throughout the regular season. They'll be battling for spots in that race. So by Colin winning here tonight, he's locked himself into the field. The first Road to the Fall Brawl event that we ran, Samuel Roush won that one. So those 2 guys are the first 2 cars locked into that race. So that's pretty cool for them. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to a new season here coming up in a couple weeks.
Well, we're looking forward to it indeed, Matt. Again, thanks for coming in here, talk a little bit about it here, and definitely looking to see you guys here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, thanks. I just want to give a quick shout out to Hyde's Pride for coming on board for these Road to the Fall Brawl races. Couldn't do it without them. And for those of you that want to keep up with SARA, stay tuned for the next couple weeks. We'll have some sponsorship announcements and some new schedules and all that. So we'll see you guys when the new season starts.
All right, there you have it, folks. Matt Rolfe. For more information, again, as he just mentioned, you can find it on racesara.com up in the top right-hand corner. That is their website. Beautifully designed website from the guy we just spoke with. Again, we showed you the top 10 out there on the screen. Colin Allman, Clay Snyder, Matthew Eddy, Kyle Souza, Dallas Pataska, Scott Austin, Ben Nile, Ian Lane, Scott Dunlap, Michael Baxter through the top 10. Looking on back, Drew Kryback, Hunter Combs, Jonathan Maloney, Connor Blaze, Mitch Rollo, and Bruce Wright showing up at the last moment. There will finish out your 16-car field. And, of course, Matt Rolfe, administrator there, showing up in the results. But that pretty much will seal the deal here. And, again, tonight, as we mentioned, this was the HeightsPride.com Road to the Fall Brawl. This non-winners race. Again, all drivers tonight had not previously seen victory lane in any series. So again, as we mentioned, the 21st of this month, we're going to start up another super late model season. You definitely want to stay tuned for that for your Thursday nights, coming up at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There'll be a new sponsor, new skins, new look. And again, as we get into the fall, the short track racing season winding down up here. We'll be starting to pick up more broadcasting up for your viewing pleasure on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. Got some more dirt broadcasts coming up on the way as well. Still some decisions and deals in the works. But that will do it for us here tonight, folks. Appreciate you tuning in this Thursday night to be able to watch some great asphalt short track racing here with these super late models. and we'll look to bring you more again coming down the road. But that will do it for us on behalf of the Sim Auto Racing Association, iRacing.com, and the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dustin Caldwell saying thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Good night.